10. All right.
Even though it's never actually been live, I just tell people that it's never really live.
Oh, so they just join and comment in the middle of the show by happenstance.
Yeah, they wild guesses. Extremely.
I mean, I've streamed before like that where it turns out my mic wasn't working, but people were still. We're still like responding as if they could hear me. Like it was just kind of lucky guesses. Who's Alec America?
I don't know. All right.
Super. Anyway, go for it.
All right, it's Wednesday. Was it July 11th? Today was 7-Eleven day, so they were giving out free Slurpees from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 7.
Weirdly, I thought it only. Well, I mean, anyway, you know, me
happened
miss it.
on
Still got
November 7th. Is that what you thought it happened?
No, I thought it was. I think it only went till like 6 p.m.
It's supposed to be 7, which is still not 7 to 11, but 11 to 7 is something.
Okay, 11 to 7. Yeah. Okay, that was it. I'm like, I heard it was not the 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's what I had heard. So, anyway.
Yeah, that's game.
At noon, somebody just ripped the cord out of the back of it and said, "We're out. Get out of here."
That could happen. Now, is it like per paying customer? So like you brought 8 people with you, and only you bought like one individual M&M. Could everybody get a free Slurpee?
Walk in and fill your own cup until the machine's empty.
See, I don't think it was the same as the fill whatever item you wanted. Like,
I could see somebody bringing in like a really nice boot.
Well, they did that a couple years ago.
I remember. I was going to bring old catcher's mitt.
People were bringing in like the 20-gallon, or not 20-gallon, but like the 5-gallon gas things. Like, hey, this was in the back of my car.
Like, I thought you were going to say like a drinking jug or whatever.
What is there gas in it? Like they just
I don't think they were actively mixing it with.
I mean, maybe their plan was to pour it in somebody's gas tank to screw their car up.
It would work. Be very effective. So
that's why there's locks on gas caps most of the time.
That's why pencils have erasers.
I'm pretty sure mine doesn't have a lock. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, you should be very nervous. Anyway,
no, it's not like you hit a button or anything inside the car. Yeah, there's no lock on it.
All right. Well, it's GameEnthus Podcast, episode 348. I'm Aaron, one of the hosts here. Tiny is finishing a beverage.
I was gonna just try to see how long. It's me. Hi, I'm Tiny.
He really is.
Good to meet you.
Mike is back again.
Yeah, after a lengthy hiatus, I have returned to the show.
And you look a lot like a picture of a TurboGrafx, which is weird.
Oh, really? Because on my end, it's showing my Xbox 360 avatar, like jumping up in the air as an explosion is going off behind my head.
Well, I was being lazy on my end. Just used the picture I already had in OBS. So yeah,
sweet.
But, tomato.
I'd rather look like a TurboGrafx.
That's an interesting choice. Mike, you've been on for quite some time, so why don't you let us know what have you been up to?
So the only thing that's interesting, because the rest of it's all just work, is that I live somewhere else now.
Okay.
I bought a new house. A new-to-me house, not a new house. I didn't have one built because I don't live that kind of lifestyle.
But you're also not squatting, is what you're saying.
No, I kicked in the door, and after a month, I just assumed that the previous tenants weren't coming back, so I'm here now. Gotcha. No, I'm in the middle. We're moving in. I'm mostly moved in. It's going to be a welcome upgrade, but still got to get rid of the old house. So maybe I'll have
get rid of. Are we talking like sell or like, depth charges?
This isn't like I'm not going to stand in the street with a sign that says like we're slashing prices. Nothing crazy like that. But
with that attitude.
This is the old house.
Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire.
Yeah, maybe less stories about how I live in the middle of nothing and how my internet is put together with strings and twigs and stuff. but we'll see. I am now part of the Comcast continuum. It's less than fun. It's already about as fun as calling up the Best Buy consumer thing. I remember that. I'll put it this way. When I got my one and only cable box for the TV, it never worked. I called 7 times. Every time that I called, no matter what I was telling them, they said, "Sir, we're going to try to send some signals to your box. We want you to unplug the box. 20 minutes to an hour is going to go by, and then your box is going to work." And I'm like, it's really not.
That's really tough when it's not plugged in, but okay.
Right. We don't, like, I know you're just trying to hang up the phone so you don't have to talk to me anymore, but it's not going to work. Anyway, to cut to the chase, they finally sent some guys out who replaced the box because the box was broken, and that was the end of that. Coming. What? Yeah. And to their credit, it was on 4th of July. They were working on 4th of July. Came out and fixed it. Although they initially told me those guys don't work on 4th of July, and then I called again, and this guy was like, "Yeah, he's right. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can set it up. Let's do that." And I'm like, fantastic, because I'm actually going to be home. So that's how I got my cable fixed. But thankfully, the internet's been fine. Probably because I bought my own cable modem. I didn't rent the one from Comcast, so they didn't have to replace that.
Gotcha.
All right. How I got cable internet.
Man, you and Linux are both moving. Man, big things.
Yeah,
big
Linux
things.
Didn't he already move? Did he not already move?
Yeah, he did move.
They had that house built, right?
No, I don't.
I thought they did.
That's what I thought I remembered.
I thought they had it built.
I thought I was given like a really light jab to Linux while I was talking about not living the lifestyle of having a house built, but I don't know. Maybe I fell flat on my face.
Well, he's doing his own show, but he's deeply offended. I'm sure. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. The part I do remember is apparently their movers flaked on them the morning of the move. I saw that post and I felt
that ain't no good.
That's not that's not even a thing, right? Like, that's when you take them to court or something.
Well, you can take them to court later, but you need to be out of the house today. Like, I believe that was the issue. So,
oh, you mean the people from the house they're moving into?
Like, they were living they had sold their old house, but, and granted, this is all Linux's. This is all Linux's.
This is some personal business you just throw out there on the internet.
Linux put all this on Twitter and whatnot.
Okay,
so
okay.
None of this is.
Well, that doesn't mean it's sanctioned, but please continue talking.
It's not my story, is what I'm trying to say. So Linux can obviously, give better detail. But from what I saw was, like, they were staying, like they had sold the house, but the buyers had said, "Hey, you can stay in it till." I thought closing for the other house. I don't know if they built it or not. Who knows? I don't know. You guys are saying they did. Maybe they did. But yeah, he posted that morning like, "Hey, they needed to be out of the house, and their movers flaked on them at like 3 a.m.
That's different. Though? I thought you were saying the people just decided, nah, we're not going anywhere.
No, like the people literally picking up their stuff and putting it in a truck.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm with you now.
Flaked on them that morning. I don't know why. No. I don't have.
We should probably interrupt his show, which is going on right now, concurrently with ours, and find out why. Yep. Decision made.
I'll say I avoided that mess by not having movers. I just took a month to move my own stuff. I don't think I recommend it. It's a bad way to go.
You realize how much stuff you had, did you?
Yeah. I was like, it's right down the street. It'll take every day I'll grab another bag and drive it over.
It'll be like 3 carloads every day.
An hour. Anyway. So yeah, that's there'll probably be more about that in the future, but for now there isn't really much else to say.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you do have a dedicated TurboGrafx room in this house that
I could if I had a dedicated I'm the only one that lives here anymore room.
So, like, is this like a chicken and the egg discussion? If you had one, would you be the only one that lives in that house anymore?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how important is a TurboGrafx room to you?
Right.
That's the real question.
No, it's fine because I can put it in the room with all of my other game consoles. That works too, and I get to keep my spouse.
Well, or you could just put your foot down. I mean, I find that works.
Wow.
Temporarily. Yeah.
How do you mean work?
Oh, good question. I think there'll be follow-up questions. Moving along. All right.
Tiny, what have you been up to?
Oh man. Okay. This surprised me. I don't know why, since I was next on the outline. But no. So we'll start with this. I watched Luke Cage season 2 last week, or over the last 2 weeks.
I watched
that.
it.
I enjoyed that a lot better than the second half of Luke Cage season 1.
So did I.
I also thought it was potentially a better Defenders set, since like most of the people in the Defenders show up in that show. Well, in that season, like half of them did.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. There was some interesting thing towards the end where certain characters just really got.
I don't understand some of the end.
They just took a turn. Like
it just decided, like, hey, so
I'm taking life, like it's nothing, whatever. Okay, wow.
But, yeah. So, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I still have to finish Jessica Jones season 2.
No,
3?
like Trish's stuff was getting on my nerves about that, but it's still definitely worth finishing.
So, I really enjoyed it. I still actually, what I need to do is catch up. I haven't watched any of Cloak and Dagger yet.
I don't even know what channel that comes on, so I don't know how I would watch it.
Comes on Freeform, which is formerly ABC Family.
My favorite station.
So, I think, I always think that's hilarious. So anyway, so Luke Cage was pretty good, and to keep that Marvel train rolling, I also saw Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, so did I.
So
did you have to pay a surge price for MoviePass?
No, I didn't use MoviePass. I picked up on it.
What? Wait, you pay for the service and you did not use it?
Well, no, here's the thing. The oldest is gonna go see it, and she's gonna use MoviePass for it. So Newegg had a deal where it was $20 for a $25 Regal Cinema gift card. So I just picked that up and just used that.
And you let her pay the surcharge to go see it.
Well, I doubt there'll be a surcharge.
I don't know if the surcharges are really in effect right now. I read about them. I was confused by them. I thought it was interesting that in the email, the actual graphic they show for the surcharge is like $3.43, which seems awfully specific, and that's kind of a lot. But whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess when you need $1.2 billion to stay afloat for the next year, a lot is relative. So.
Right.
Yeah, I did read people trying to see Ant-Man and Wasp with their MoviePass and encounter the surge pricing scenario, but also that the MoviePass thing went down and they couldn't even use it at all.
That's why,
at least initially.
That's why I didn't realize that. That's why people on Twitter I saw some people saying, "Hey, I couldn't even go," and there were YouTube videos about it. Now I see why.
Yeah,
that's not good.
No, not really.
No, that's
not for MoviePass or MoviePass users.
Not at all.
Anyway, Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's like probably the middle of the Marvel movies. Let's say.
So it's better than either of the Hulks, right?
I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did like Incredible, but yeah.
Just yes. Like yes.
Yeah,
100% yes.
Do you think it was funnier than the original? Because I thought it came either close to or kind of was funnier. Like it was funny.
I don't know if it was necessarily like.
There were just some unnecessary gags that just worked for me.
But when Ant-Man takes on one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and really kicks his ass, I thought that was hilarious, that whole scene. And there was no Falcon equivalent scene in this one.
No, there wasn't.
So yeah.
being as I haven't seen any of the last, 4 or now 5 or whatever, Thor, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Infinity War.
Been moving. What's your excuse?
Should I watch this before Infinity War?
No.
Being as it takes place.
No.
So this would be
okay.
This would be fine to watch before Infinity War, as long as you don't watch the after credits.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'll just watch them in release order.
Because you're right. This does take place before Infinity War, so like it wouldn't matter
until it does.
Until it helps explain something.
It really does. But yeah.
Okay. Like it helps. Right. It actually helps explain a couple things.
And that's why I ask, instead of just going, I'll watch them in sequential order.
Like that after credit scene, kind of I'm like, once they start, I'm like, I know what's going to happen, and this is going to be terrible.
I kept waiting for it, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
It's like, yep.
The only way this makes sense is if this happens, and then it happens.
And it
like,
and it's like the movie was like a nice
good.
Reprieve of what you know is pending, and then it's like, yep, there we go. So it was enjoyable.
I think they did some really cool stuff. I like that they introduced a character that Lawrence Fishburne plays.
Yeah, Bill Foster. Yeah.
And
Morpheus is in this one. I got
it. But
he's not bald.
I mean, okay, since we already said Bill Foster is a superhero in the Marvel universe called Goliath. And aside from the time where Marvel decided to kill him off by stupid cybernetic Thor, he's a pretty cool character. So dumb in the Civil War. Anyway, so and they legitimately referenced that he had powers. Like they could potentially give him back powers. So,
I just noticed that Lawrence Fishburne just seemed really happy to be a part of the MCU, happier than he was to be Perry White.
But yeah,
DC stuff.
He's another crossover character, another crossover actor.
Right.
Yeah. So much. I mean, what's weird, though, if DC should have gone the other way and given J.K. Simmons an actual superhero role instead of making him Commissioner Gordon in the Batman movies. So
he'll be the next recruit. I guarantee it.
So, which reminds me, I also watched Justice League, and I actually liked that movie better than I think I liked it the first time. I rewatched it.
I saw it just the once. It was
the
tolerable.
I noticed it's on HBO.
It's on HBO. I watched the second half of it. And I'm like, I really like everyone but Ezra Miller in this, and I only dislike Ezra Miller because I remember seeing a couple press things where he looked like a d-bag. So,
can they fix the mustache for a later release?
I mean, other people have shown them how to do it with free technology, but I really doubt they will. So
it was awkward. It was just I'm sure there had to have been a better way. And in the movie he was doing is the Mission Impossible movie, right?
It's the Mission Impossible one that comes out in this summer.
That no one will see. Why do they keep making those?
I don't know. I enjoy the Mission Impossible movies. I might not watch it
until I thought everybody died. And I was like, they're still making those?
I might not. Well, I mean, everyone dies in the first 20 minutes of the first movie. Emilio Estevez eats in that elevator.
Yeah, he does. How do you make spikes come out of an elevator shaft? I know.
The standard feature, spikes.
Emilio Estevez was in a Hollywood movie in the last decade?
Yes, Men at Work. Yeah.
Well, the original
Men at Work. Okay, good.
The original Mission Impossible was not the last decade.
Oh, the first one? Okay,
yeah,
I don't remember.
22 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about how it has a N64 game, so
I'm looking at it now. We should play it.
I have a box copy of it somewhere. Anyway, so Ant-Man and Wasp, I really I did enjoy it. I think it's a good mid-tier Marvel movie. I like the Ant-Man concept. I think he's a cool character. So, and I thought the Wasp was legitimately a better character than Ant-Man.
Yes.
More capable, able to do a job. So when and this is in the trailers, when she says hey, if I had gone to Germany with you from the Civil War movie, you wouldn't have gotten caught. I 100% believe her. Nope. Wouldn't have been sitting in jail. So anyway, aside from that, so that was Ant-Man and Wasp. That was Luke Cage. Hey, I backed a Kickstarter. It's been a while since I did that. I backed the vertical grip for the Switch.
I did too, and I don't know why I did, but I did.
Not only did I back it for $2 because it was $29. So I was like,
it was $24 for $2.
$5 shipping.
Okay.
So what is this thing?
Hey, did you ever want to play Donkey Kong in the right aspect ratio on your Switch in portability mode? You can do that now. It's just essentially a Switch, handheld Switch dock that holds the Switch vertically instead of horizontally.
Jeremy Parrish.
I'm sorry.
Gonna put a follicle of his hair on each one.
I don't understand what you're sorry for.
That needs whatever this thing is to make that happen.
I mean, you could always just put it on a desk stand or whatever and do it. But if you're walking around, this will let you do that.
If you're walking around and playing games instead of paying attention, I got you.
Well, I mean, if I'm on the plane, I'm gonna hopefully have a Switch case that I can put this in. That's really the answer. And it'll be a nice thing to have. So, for all those, I own Ikaruga. I think it's the only game that I own right now that would take advantage of it. But I will probably buy others. So.
I see. So you bought something that you encourage yourself to purchase more things to take advantage of.
Well, I mean, yeah, isn't that the whole idea behind Amazon Prime?
Is it?
I mean, it is, isn't it? Amazon Prime is just to encourage you to use Amazon more. Anyway, I've
been tricked all these years.
Yeah, going down that road. So I backed that. The Kickstarter closed, I think 200 or 300% of what their original goal was. And they were already done design and whatnot. This is just production, so they are promising a November delivery. Yeah. So and they started production early.
I kickstarted that Master System book.
I thought about it. I saw some other people also kickstarted. I'm like, I have so many books I haven't read yet.
I did get that Legend of Zelda encyclopedia thing, and that's pretty nice. I didn't get the collector's one, not the one that's in gold, but I mean, I got it for $20.
Yeah, I haven't bought that yet either, and I keep thinking about it too. I've still got so many the boss fight books to get through, and anyway, yeah. So, actually, since we're talking about books, I'll talk about this real quick. I read two stocky, there's a set of novels called the X series, EX. And it's about, hey, what if superheroes lived through a zombie apocalypse? Or lived in a zombie apocalypse kind of deal. And I finished the last 2 of the 5-book series this week. And it's junk sci-fi. It's fun. I enjoyed them. But, I don't know if reading them made my life better.
So are these made-up superheroes or established DC Marvel types?
Well, so there are definitely parallels you could make, but they are wholly original. I mean, by now they're superheroes that I would recognize because I've now read something like 20,000 pages.
so no Superman. They just call him Ubermensch and
no,
sure.
Ubermensch has a whole different connotation for a lot of superheroes, but
absolutely.
There's a guy called the Mighty Dragon, which at the beginning of the series, so he has a level of invulnerability and super strength. He can glide, he can't actually fly, but he can leap and then glide.
So he's Mario from the Wii U Mario then.
I guess, but except for he actually learns to fly during, he essentially, his powers are still developing, and over the series he learns to actually be able to fly.
Isn't that what Superman did in Man of Steel?
I mean, it's also,
I can't fly. I'll just jump really, really, really high.
The difference is, and this is why that still never made any sense. Superman leaped and had no control about how he landed. He was gonna land on someone. It just sucked to be that person, I guess, because he had no other choice. I guess he could super breath himself to the side or whatever, but
this is really just one of many of the issues with this particular Superman.
He really doesn't have a whole lot of he didn't have control when he was just leaping. Kind of like how the Hulk works. The Hulk is 100% that. This guy could literally glide kind of deal. So, and there were other ones. There was a guy that he had vampire vision. So he would suck essentially the aurora off essentially energy off people, and that would make pump him up in strength wise. It was called Gorgon. He dies in the first book. There's a whole bunch of they were, because you all I doubt either of you read this, but did either of you read How to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse? I think it was, or something. I forget what it was. What World War Z ended up being based off of.
No.
In that book, there's a whole part about the military, several chapters, that the military's not equipped to fight a zombie apocalypse. It's the idea that to incapacitate and whatnot. And hey, when your enemies need to be shot in the head, all your fancy incapacitating equipment isn't going to do shit. And that's the same idea. Gorgon has no effect on the zombies because they're not alive, so there's nothing he can do to them. So he ended up being kind of a liability at points.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Since you mentioned, you mentioned Hulk, Robert 1051, he had tweeted something from the last show. I forgot what the comment was. I just looked it up, and of course I couldn't find it. I liked it, but I like too many things, so I can't find it. But he's a big fan of the Ang Lee. He always defends the Ang Lee Hulk movies, and I'm always like, come on, man, stop. But it's watchable.
It was the whole Daredevil actors discussion. Jobs.
And catering and set crew, key grips.
That's true. So many people were employed.
I see why he's a big fan of it. Yeah.
Irradiated poodles.
Non-absorbing man, absorbing man.
Yeah. Who was like a giant jellyfish.
Yeah.
So anyway, the last thing, I was at a convention this week, and because I was at a convention. Who believe it? I was at New Jersey GamerCon, which is a smaller event up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and it was fun. We talked to a bunch of different vendors and a couple of indie devs and whatnot, and I think this was the first time. And this is probably going to get a GameEnthus money reaction. I think this was the first time I ever saw a white Wii U. I went back to the
less expensive model.
Yeah, the last
the 8 gig one, I think.
And it looked. I thought it was a ripoff. I thought it was are they just running this on emulated box? Because it was
Tiny,
somewhat.
That was only a generation ago.
It was somewhat
but we shouldn't be that old.
The case was somewhat it has the blue light or whatever in it, so the case kind of looked a little translucent at the front and whatnot. I don't know if it's because these have been moved around a lot. Maybe maybe the case had been replaced.
It moved so fast the color fell out of it. What happened?
No, the front of it was more. It wasn't white. It was more clear, acrylic.
Maybe it was just a mod.
So I don't know. I don't know if it was mod. But anyway, I saw that. I'm like, what console is that? I don't know what this is. And then I'm like, oh, that's the white Wii U, the one I never saw, because who bought the 8 gig model?
Every time I went to the console free play room at PAX East, all of the Wii U's that they had were white. I don't know why, but I mean,
at one point you could get them relatively cheap.
They got after a year, I think they discontinued them, and then they were cheapened out one way or the other.
I didn't realize that.
But I just went on the Craigslist route and found a black one for significantly less than retail.
So, but yeah, no,
I
saw it and I was like, man, I don't know what that is.
I need to buy that so I can play it.
No, I don't need.
That's kind of like when my brother-in-law saw my original DS and he's like, "What kind of a bootleg-looking thing is this?" It's original? A DS, and he's like, "No, it isn't."
What's crazy is the one that Reggie showed at E3 that year looks significantly better than the one they released.
I don't remember what that looked like.
Oh, the DS?
Yeah, the original?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
What happened?
It had the full black, center pieces. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it looked a little more stylish.
They just whatever, they'll buy it anyway. Third pillar. Okay.
So, but other things, and this was very nice. We got to meet the original, capture artist, and on his profile it says he's one of the creators for Mortal Kombat, which I didn't know at the time. But
John
Dan Pesina, no, co-creator of Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, Master Pacina, who also played Johnny Cage. Like, he's the guy that got digitized for Johnny Cage and all of the ninjas.
What's his name again?
Yeah.
Master Pacina, Daniel Pacina, Pesina.
I don't remember her name, but I do remember reading years ago that like one guy did like half of the characters.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's done like all of the ninjas. He did Johnny Cage. He also was like most of the Foot Clan in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle old movies, like the live action ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the action sequences, because in the the subway station, like they just like copy him. Like what?
I don't know how. I don't know. Like I think he was part of the stunt coordination or whatever for too. So we met him and we were talking to him, and he very generously donated a bunch of like signed posters and whatnot for us to auction off.
Nice.
Which some of them are like all the Johnny Cage ones are signed to my best fan, which is amazing. I want to put it up in my living room. I'm going to get. I'm going to win one of these, and I am going to get it framed and put it in my living room.
Oh, you don't have one.
I mean, I could have one, but I feel like that's probably a bad thing. Like,
well, because you sent that tweet or not tweet,
the text.
Yeah, you texted that out to us, and I saw it, and I showed my wife and friends we were with at the time, and I said, I know Tiny did not say, I am your best fan. Sign this to me as such.
No. I wasn't even there when he was signing them. One of my other guys over. Yeah. So, but he gave us essentially 3 of each, which you can see them, almost all of them, up on my Twitter. So yeah, I need to get one of those, and I just have to decide if I want the one that's the headshot, or if I want the one that's actually the Mortal Kombat picture. Because I feel like the headshot would be even weirder to have in my living room. Like, there would be a lot of questions about why I just have
just a couple
random guy's headshot hanging up, replacing the transistor.
And then the words "get down here" written across his face. But yeah.
Get down here.
That's from the movie. They're remaking the movie too. They're doing a remake.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw something about a remake. Yeah.
Yep. Are you surprised? I mean,
yes.
I guess I'm more surprised.
Video game movie. Let me just say that.
I guess I'm more surprised because I just don't know the popularity of Mortal Kombat as like a property in general.
I mean, when you go see the movie, it's something Movie Pass is still in existence. Would you go see the movie with Movie Pass? I know
I don't know. Like, was I doing an Extra Life thing that weekend and I need to not talk to people for 2 hours? Then yes, I would go see that movie. So,
yeah,
like, I still haven't seen Deadpool. Like,
it's
for example.
Like a Mortal Kombat remake movie is the kind of thing. The only reason I would go see that is if a group of friends like yourselves said, "This is an event. We're all gonna go," and I would look at it much like PAX or something. It's like, I'm not going to PAX because I'm excited to see any of this stuff. I just want to hang out with my friends and have a good time. And I could do that at PAX. I could do that at a terrible Mortal Kombat movie.
Well,
do that in the box.
And after, we mock it.
Did either of you listen to the Giant Bomb cast this week yet?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm in the middle of it.
Okay. Well, you've probably gotten to this point then, Mike. Like, they talk about, like, that's what Jeff Gerstmann's talking about, the anime convention they went to.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah,
like a nightmare.
Like, that too. But like, just get friends together and hang out. Like
the whole time I'm listening to it, I feel like we should all just send them letters to say, "Hey, you're describing MagFest. Just come this year."
Right, year. New York crew. Why don't you come down to MagFest?
Right, it's not that difficult for New York. Maybe not San Francisco, but
come.
You don't have to do a panel. Just look at the people and enjoy.
Right, yeah. Like the people watching is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. That's mostly what I've been doing that I can think of. So, I dog sit my parents' dog for the weekend, but I don't think anyone really cares about that. And she survived.
You did mention the dog on the last show, so
yeah,
is the dog gone?
Like at the end of the show.
The dog is gone for right now, but they just like, hey, can you watch her at the end of the month? And I'm like, I'm at an event that weekend, but we can figure something out.
Next thing you know, they'll say, hey, can you just have this dog?
No, they're renting out beach house, so
still, they're making inroads.
No,
they're just softening you up.
Obviously, my schedule does not work to dog ownership. Like,
Tiny.
Well, that's why they'll gladly watch the dog when you're not available. But if it becomes your dog,
it's an awful lot of times I'm not available, Mike.
Yeah, like, that's a difficult.
I'm gonna make sure you're not available.
Like it's an awful lot. Anyway, anyway, we gotta. Sherlock was fine. It was fun to have her. So, but
did you just say Sherlock?
Yes, the dog's name is Sherlock, and yes, Sherlock is a she. And she's a Westie or whatever, like a West Yorkland Terrier or something.
Now is it
nothing to me?
Is the dog named Sherlock because it's like highly intelligent, or is this?
No, my mom just liked the name Sherlock.
Does it have a pipe?
So a Westie is a West Highland White Terrier. My mom would also like to get another one and name it Watson.
Yeah.
But she'd like it to be a different color, to which I don't think you can get a Westie that's not I think white is actually like part of the thing for the Westie, the West Highland White Terrier. Seems
it's
like maybe
in the name.
Yeah, like it's right there. I don't know if you're gonna find a different color Westie.
And then she'll get the third named Moriarty.
Maybe you can get a bowler hat for dogs, though.
You don't get a Moriarty. You get a Mycroft, who's Sherlock Holmes' brother. Read a book.
You get a Hound of the Baskerville. Let's move it along.
Yes! Yes! Anyway, what about you, Aaron? How was your week? What did you do for the 4th?
The 4th was great. My folks came in town. My cousin and sometimes listener of the show, OJ the Kamikaze, he and his wife, my cousin, had us over for the 4th. He grilled a bunch of food. We ate a lot of it, and we're told to like make a plate, and we kind of went nuts. But no, the food was good. It was good times. We finally got a chance to really get into Dos, the sequel to Uno. I've had it for like a month, and we played it once a couple of weeks ago.
I saw the thing, and I was like, why is there a game called DOS, and how do you play that?
My dad kept calling it DOS. My dad is
called
DOS. Like, what are the cards like? Command line,
backslash
CD /
Oh, but like the
GIR
early days,
/W.
You gotta like swap floppies A and B drive and stuff. And like, there's not enough.
That's an apt description of the game. No, but I played a couple weeks ago. We played it completely wrong because the actual written directions in the box are terrible. So I had to go to YouTube to watch, like, this is how you play. I'm like, oh, okay. Because when you read the thing, it's like, what?
Those are usually the best way to learn a game that people have played. Somebody showing you how to do it, whether it's YouTube or
exactly. I mean, I'm visual, so it's like, yeah, I'm seeing it visually certainly helped. But it works like this: you have a draw pile, but then you also have you pull 2 cards. Like matching the number is like what you have to do to get rid of cards. If you match the color of one of the 2 cards, if you match one color, you get a color bonus, so you get to drop another card into like this center pile. You're gonna have up to 3 cards. If you match the color and number of both, you can also add up to a number too. So if this is a 7 that's red, you can have a green 3 and a yellow 4. But it's the numbers that really matter. So you can get rid of 2 cards that way. It's interesting. So if you get 1 color bonus, you get to drop another card. If you get a 2 color bonus, you make everybody else pick up a card. It's interesting. It's different than Uno. It's not quite as good as Uno, but once you learn how to play, I think it's close. So it's fun. I don't know. It's like $6. You can't go wrong. Okay. Yeah, played a bunch of that. What else? Anybody see Ocean's 8?
Did not.
Nope.
Okay. I liked it. It was interesting. It was funny. I just kind of felt like they planned everything so well. I mean, most of these movies, like, I never saw like the original Rat Pack ones, but think of the remake of Ocean's 11. 12 and 13. I'm not even gonna bother. Like those aren't even worth mentioning. There were at least, I felt like there were more scenes where like you thought they were like really in trouble, like something was gonna happen. Like, oh man, they're not gonna work it out. Like they planned it so well. It was like, okay, like where's the tension? Like you have everything lined up so well. It's like, okay, you just work your plan and you're done. I mean, yeah, there were a couple little like things here and there, but nothing like where I felt like, oh man, the suspense is killing me. It was like, oh, they planned it really well. They executed it. Done. So I don't know. It's like kind of a nitpick, but no, I enjoyed it. But it was interesting. Let's see. What did we watch the other day? We watched The Greatest Showman, the movie that's very loosely based on P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Oh, it's loosely based. So like, first of all, it's a musical, which I think I kind of knew. So once, you know, Hugh Jackman started singing and it wasn't Les Miserables, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a musical. And so, I mean, I enjoyed it, but, I mean, like, I enjoyed the movie. Like, they really took some liberties. I mean, it was almost like, outside of just him being named P.T. Barnum, there was, like, nothing else that really made, that he really did it all in that movie. So, that he did in real life. So, I don't know. See it at your own risk. Nah, that's all right. Let's see what else. I remember how Nyko had released a couple of Switch battery chargers or Switch docks that weren't legit and they were frying.
Oh yeah.
Apparently Nintendo is partnering with iQue, I think, for like these official
the power
Switch
banks,
chargers, and power banks.
Yeah,
this is the same crap they did with those SD cards that were Nintendo branded. Just like double the price, just because they threw a sticker.
Oh,
but not exactly though. Yeah. The non-branded SD cards didn't break your Switch. Like I feel like there's probably a.
but yeah, these are power banks, not docks.
Yeah,
like they're still not like sanctioning anything other than their own docks for. Even the one that does no video out. They're like, yeah, we're putting out a different one. It does half of the things, but it's available.
Yeah, but if like they're the Power Cores 13400 and the 20100, I'm not sure if those numbers indicate the number of milliamp hours of it, but if they do, these are way overpriced. Like if it's a 20,000 milliamp hour battery, it's $90. I'm sorry, it's not iQue, it's Anchor. So I was wrong about that. But $90, like they're $70, $90. You can get a 20,000 milliamp hour battery for like $20, $25, maybe $30. $90? Come on.
It's Nintendo's putting their guarantee on it.
Can you get an Anchor? Before the Nintendo branding, but can you get an Anchor for that?
You can. I'm pretty sure that won't cost $90.
I agree, but I think it'll probably cost closer to that.
Maybe $50. Like, that's $50 still isn't $90 though.
I understood.
Last
you gotta pay the Nintendo tax.
Let's see. What was the number again? 20,000?
Yeah.
Let's see. Amazon's got. Oh no, sorry, that is iQue. I searched Anchor and it showed me iQue anyway.
See, that's
okay, so an Anchor 13,000 is $34 on Amazon. So $62 for an Anchor.
Only 46. Only a 45% uplift on this.
Yeah,
and that's both through GameStop and Nintendo. So,
well, yeah, I mean, look, you look at it two ways. Obviously, Nintendo is putting their name on it, but it also indicates that if you use something that they officially like sanction, allow, endorse, whatever, and it still messes up your system,
good luck proving it.
I see your head shaking there.
No, because they, Apple's been doing this lately, and they have certified. That doesn't necessarily mean Nintendo will honor the warranty issue. Anchor was
all right. Then never mind. That's a travesty, and they should be.
I mean, that's what
name on it.
So Apple came out with this brand new like huge iMac or whatever. It's 8K and all this stuff, and like there's a different mounting bracket you can get on the back, and there's been a lot of drama around it because like most Apple stores don't know how to service this new piece of technology. It's been on the market for like 6 months, and like there was a whole lot of stuff, and this is something that is Apple branded that they sell. Like you literally can order at the same time you order this from the Apple store.
But they are not responsible for anything that it does.
Right. It's a co-brand, not a app. It's not an Apple product.
If it knocks up your wife and runs off with her, they're not responsible. So.
Or if the screws shear off and your very fancy computer tumbles to the ground.
Don't look at me.
That's a terrible cop-out. I mean,
not a surprise though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you see how I made my assumptions based on the branding of it. So
I mean, and
I'm not the only one that's going to do that.
There's nothing to say here that Nintendo would support this. That's all I'm saying that I can find. So,
and they shouldn't put their name on it.
I think it would be Anchor's responsibility to support it.
Well, and if somehow the partnership makes them say yes, we will replace your Switch if it bursts into flames for having plugged our device into it, then that's at least something. But
I mean, the funny thing is, if you go to Anchor's website, they say this supports the Nintendo Switch, but it's also for use with the iPhone X/8, MacBook Pro, and more.
Also, it's a USB port.
Right, like it's a USB.
You know what USB stands for? The first word is universal.
Though I will say, I think it is funny in the picture. The wall, does it not come with a wall plug?
I don't know.
It's using the Nintendo.
Hates the idea of giving you wall plugs for their devices.
But in the pictures on Anchor's website, it's using the Nintendo USB-C wall plug that would be in your dock.
So you take the battery and you plug both ends into the Switch at the same time. It's just a snake eating its own tail. Enjoy.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
So, anyway, yeah.
I guess the last things we're talking about Switch stuff is apparently Nintendo is trying to position themselves to have 20 to 30 indies up on the eShop a week.
Which is crazy. Like,
I don't understand. I love indies, but that's unless they're going to change the interface. I don't think that just seems like, why would you even bother to do that? There's too many things on there now.
Yeah, they want to pile on so nobody's ever seen, and then nobody ever buys anything other than their own games right at the top.
Well, clearly they don't want that because they get 30% out of all the sales, but I just don't understand what do they get out of that. I mean, yes, it's a numbers game. You throw enough of crap up there, people will buy it, but 20 to 30 a week? How do you showcase 20 to 30 a week?
Well, it means I'm not going to be searching the eShop randomly ever again. It's like, oh, what's available? I don't know. There's 30 more titles than yesterday.
Meme Run 19. Like, third one this week. So.
How many massage simulators do they have in the works?
You know, with that HD Rumble, you know.
Oh man, yeah. See, you thought it one more step ahead of me.
Could lead to some trouble. Just saying.
Yeah. As you know, what's real comfortable? iPhone vibrations. Isn't it? It's just a cell phone, or Rumble anyway.
Yeah. But it's HD,
but
man.
They put HD in front of it. That means it's
Yes, they. Anyway, okay.
All right, Mike. I know that you've been moving and dealing with all this other stuff, but I know you played a ton of games. Let's hear all about them right now. Go for it. Just start the list. Go. Boom.
Yeah. All right, and I'm done. That was easy. I have to be. I mean, totally honest. Since I've been on the show, I have not played a game. I verified that there's an internet connection to my consoles that are hooked up to my TV. Mm-hmm. That's it. I ran Ethernet cords. I bought 500 feet of Ethernet line at Micro Center just to make sure I would always have enough for the end of time.
You gonna crimp it yourself?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. I got all the tools and everything. I did, of course, learn that Cat 6 is significantly more expensive than Cat 5e.
Yes,
so Cat 5e it is for my entire house, and that's what I'm running.
All right.
But yeah, I did acquire 4 new TurboGrafx games since I was on the last show.
Let's hear about them.
they're all games that I've played before, and let's see, 3 of them I picked up at Too Many Games. That is Clax.
That was on TurboGrafx?
Psychosis. Yes.
I didn't even know that.
I wish this is the moment where I wish I had a camera so I could show you the fantastic artwork on the turbo chip itself. But feel free to Google it. It's one of the dumber things I've ever seen.
Like Phalanx dumb, or
well,
Phalanx was pretty good. Let's not talk stuff on Phalanx.
No, I meant the art for the.
Also,
yeah, I know.
As
Phalanx,
I'm lining,
Phalanx was pretty good.
I'm lining up the 3 loose chip games that I got, and for some reason, Clax. If you're at all familiar with what a TurboGrafx card game looks like, it's about, I want to say about a third of the face of it is black with the pins across the top, and then the artwork is the other 2/3 below it. Clax, the black area is significantly less than any other TurboGrafx game I've ever seen.
So they could fit this picture of a guy grabbing with like multiple faded out arms.
Right. It looks. I can't tell if he's supposed to be kicking or he's just so frantically trying to save the bricks. It doesn't matter. It's really dumb.
I'll take it. It was not expensive, or was it? I don't know.
No, not really. The next one, Psychosis, I mentioned, that was the most expensive game of the bunch, but it really wasn't that much because whatever. Yo Bro, which is a terrible game, by the way. I got a decent deal on it at Too Many Games, so I felt like it was worthy of.
I'm surprised you didn't have Yo Bro already.
It was one of the later chip game releases, and not like the last, but not early in the life of the system. It's a bad game. It was basically like the card version of Camp California, which is actually also the name of the company that made the game. If you want to see how ridiculous CD games were in the early 90s, go look up a YouTube video of Camp California. I had to try this out for myself once I saw the video. And of course the game is ridiculously expensive, so I'm not buying Camp California. I just downloaded a copy of it and played it on the original hardware.
It's an NES game with the bear that had like the don't do drugs thing.
I don't know.
I can't think of the name of that thing. This was like a
But there are many bears in Camp California's games, which is both Camp California and Yo Bro. I don't think they ever made anything else, and that might even not even be like the name of a real studio. I don't even know. And the last and most recent one I picked up was Hit the Ice, that Amish market that I told you not to bother with a couple years ago, Aaron, on the way up to Tiny's. I swung in there again, and they've had this same copy of Hit the Ice for years, and I was finally like, "Oh, just give it to me. Here's your money."
I mean, what kept you from buying it earlier if you didn't have it already?
Because I don't want it. It's a terrible game. It's just... It's now,
I guess that's a good reason. I don't
one
know.
less game that like if I ever wanted to complete the collection, which would be a stupid thing to do. One less I would need to acquire to do that.
I bought Batman Beyond at Too Many Games, so what can I say?
Is that bad? Is that for PS1?
No, N64.
N64.
That is a terrible
It is
game.
a not good game. Yeah.
I mean, because that wasn't a bad show.
No,
Batman
the show
Beyond
was
awesome.
good. But yeah.
I mostly remember the movie that they had to edit significantly upon release.
Killed that guy.
Where it was like, like one of the things was Joker stabbed Batman in the knee in the flashback, and then they had to edit the knife out, so he just punched him in the knee, and somehow he still felt it like 30 or 40 years later. It's like, that day when the Joker punched me in the knee real hard. Like, okay. All right, whatever.
Yeah, you do that.
So, but anyway, I hope to be able to get back into playing some games soon, and I've been hearing Wreckfest is worth another look, considering I paid for it like 4 years ago, and I played around with all the physics games and the launching of Santas and all that business. But it's available. I've already paid for it, so I might as well play that. I completed all 4 of the the divine beasts in Zelda. So I really don't have much left to go, but I haven't touched it in over a month. And I just want to get the Master Sword, and I'd love to try out the motorcycle before I'm done with it, but that may be more involved than I want to get. So we'll just see, And then after that, Horizon Zero Dawn is probably the one I want to get to more than any of them. But there's that. There's South Park. There's Shadow of War. It's all these games that I bought last year I didn't play. And
though honestly. I think they still haven't announced when it's coming out, but I assume the final DLC is going to be out soon. So maybe wait on South Park, yeah. And then you can have all the the second one brought a new class that wasn't in the base game. So
the Casa Bonita thing.
Yeah, you could be a vampire or whatever. So
I mean, I kind of wish I had it for the Switch, but I'm not going to re-buy it.
Right.
So, oh well.
So.
But yeah, I mean that's about it. So, Tiny.
Hey, I have also not been playing a whole ton, but Money Puzzle Exchanger came out on Switch, and probably other platforms because it's a Neo Geo hamster re-release. So I bought that game, and that game's harder than I remembered, and it took me a little while to get back into the swing of things. But it's a fun puzzle game where you're exchanging money and making larger denominations.
That doesn't sound like fun, but I'm sure that it is.
Well, it's a Tetris. It's instead of Tetraminos or whatever, you have coins, and you're taking you need to get 5 1 pieces or 5 essentially pennies, let's call them, but they're not, to make a nickel, to then make a dime, and make a dime. Dime can make a quarter. Quarters can make.
It sounds like Sesame Street.
Right, but it's a whole so it's coming down at you, and you need to pull a coin out, or you can pull, if they're matching coins, pull a set of coins down and then launch them into another row. So you're also trying to manage to make sure that at no point do the coins cross the whatever line at the bottom that will end the game.
So it's like reverse Meteos then.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I was gonna say it sounds a tad bit like Clax, but
I mean it's a puzzle game where yeah. So
it's like Waluigi's Woods.
So I mean it's fun. It's $6 or whatever, $7 on the Switch.
Nah, it's too rich for my purse.
Actually, they came out. Aaron, did you see this press release today from ACA or whatever? The people the people that are
yeah.
The one, it's like a first person, it's called Super Spy.
Yeah, I remember that game. You don't remember that?
I don't remember this game at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to own that game.
So it's
the actual Neo Geo cartridge.
So it's coming also
you had a
to
Neo
Switch,
Geo?
and
yes, but that's where this conversation ends because time is a thing.
I think I've asked you this before, and you've told me that I just forgot.
Mike was
the short is I traded everything that I owned to get it. I never bought another game, and then I traded all of that for a 3DO, which I later sold back to the guy that I traded all the stuff to for $30.
Mike was that guy, and also
really got over on you, man.
Don't ever.
It was many years in between.
Robbie,
how
I want
those
you to
magic
know this.
beans you have.
Robbie, I want you to hear this and never accuse me of GameEnthus money again. Mike owned a Neo Geo.
Yeah, and at least one game. So
he was that kid. Yeah. So
I had a few games, nothing that was valuable.
So anyway, Super Spy, I think that looks cool. But anyway, Money Puzzle Exchanger came out.
Super Spy is not a good game. Don't play that. It is not a good game.
But it looks so cool.
No, it sucks. If you're thinking it's like Doom or something, no. You can only walk straight ahead.
Yeah, I assume it's much slower than that.
The sound effects are kind of entertaining to hear. The game is not fun.
So,
not with that.
Me and my buddy Alex played Spy Party, and we streamed it on Twitch over Steam. And that's it's a fun game, and it's one person's playing the sniper, the other person's playing the spy, and the sniper has to shoot the right person at the party, and you have to pretend to be you have to do your best to replicate being one of the bots while also completing the tasks that you've been assigned.
You can only play online, though, right?
Yes. What do you mean by that?
Like, there's no local.
Well, how would you play? Wouldn't the sniper immediately be like, ha!
It's you!
That person.
I got the drop on.
Like I don't understand.
He's like, I live here. Oh, yeah, right.
It's like screen cheats. Like, I saw you do that thing.
I'm sure there's a LAN, like, there's probably a LAN you could probably set up or something, but it is not, there is no split screen. It's just a lot of fun, like, and, like, there were points at which, like, I messed up and I was trying to line myself up with an objective, and I'm like, oh, I know, he sees me right here. Because if you're in the party, you just see a red laser. Like, that's where you know the sniper's looking. Or at least that's the center of his view, or his or her view. So like you're like, oh man, I was like, oh, I'm dead, and I was totally dead. So you should watch. It was like we played for about an hour. It was a lot of fun, and we only still play like in the beginner because like that's 4. There are a bunch of different stages, but that's 4 tasks you have to do. As you go up in difficulty, they started introducing additional tasks.
I want to buy
I also
it, but
played,
I can only play. Yeah.
I mean, we can play some at Extra Life.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Sounds like the way to do it.
Like, and the group can play it. Like, it really, like, yes, there's one person controlling the controls, but other people can be watching, and like, there's a whole dynamic to it you can do as a group. Speaking of which, I also bought that Sony game, the one that you control with your phones, like it's the crime drama one.
Hidden Agenda.
Hidden Agenda, yeah, it's like $2.99 right now on PlayStation.
We played that at Christmas. I played with my folks and then my neighbors and stuff. They had to leave, so I never saw the ending of it. But I'm hoping there's multiple endings and give me a reason to play it again. It was interesting.
For $3, I was willing to.
Yeah.
Like, and I assume it uses the like Until Dawn tech, since like it's all digitized people kind of thing, like actual actors kind of deal. But anyway, I also played Overwatch because hey, they released a hamster as their new character, in a giant mechanical ball that has Gatling guns on it.
I mean,
so he's a hyper intelligent hamster.
Does he drive a Kia Soul?
No, they're
just leaving money on the table if he doesn't.
I understand, and I haven't looked at his skins yet. Maybe there is a Kia Soul skin.
Does
he just listen to LMFAO all day long?
God, that'd be terrible. That'd be terrible.
LMFAO or Richard Gere?
Both. Actually.
Yeah, both. That sounds. They both sound like awful diet.
They were both terrible jokes. But his ultimate is to put down. He just like throws down like, I don't know, 12 mines that like float in the air. So like if you try to get close to him, they will give you potential damage. Though you can also like shoot them out of the air and whatnot, or whatever your offensive weapons are.
Does he like? Do the mines like follow him, or can he then?
No, it's more like you put them down to control an area. So like if you're playing a map that's like capture the point, you would probably either, as on defense, you'd put them at one of the choke points before that to stop people from being able to get through easily, or on offense, you would probably capture the point, like start the counter to say you're capturing, and then put them down so that if an enemy teammate had to get on the point, they would also have to deal with this encumbrance as well.
So he can walk through his own mines easily.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty cool. He's the 7th character. Me and Aaron were talking about this before the show started. The 7th character for Overwatch to add to the game since it launched. So I'm looking forward to when he becomes. This is all in the player test realm. This is all on the test server still. So I'm looking forward to when he gets released. And then the last thing, I was playing some Pokemon Go. Like a lot of Pokemon Go over the weekend.
Boring. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got a Blastoise. And I got a Blastoise because I caught, 70 Squirtles.
Oh, what?
Well, you tape them together and they become Blastoise?
Well, so, yeah, we'll talk about this real quick. So, there was an event on Sunday, or, it's Pokemon Go's 2-year anniversary or whatever, this last week.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, and so they did... Wow. They did a event where it was a bunch of like these special Pokemon that reference the cartoon and whatnot. And I don't know what was going on at this hotel, but like as it's referred to in the Pokemon Go lingo, I was in a Squirtle nest. There were just tons of them. Like
that sounds filthy, man. That's I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
They filled like so many that I would just open the phone, I'd go through, catch them, close the app, wait like I don't know 15 minutes, reopen, bunch more Squirtles, and the weird way
it's not making it any better.
No.
The weird way that you evolve Pokemon in Pokemon Go is you have to catch each time you catch the same type Pokemon, you get what are essentially that Pokemon's name candy, and each Pokemon has a certain amount of candy they need to evolve to the next stage. So I caught enough to get, I think it was 25 to get a Squirtle to a Wartortle. And then you had to have 100 to get a Wartortle to a Blastoise. I caught enough Squirtles. So you get 3 each time you catch one. And then when you transfer, which is really what I believe in my head, you're just feeding the Squirtle to the other Squirtle. You get an additional 1. So I did that enough times to get
it starts off, you're capturing little things, young things, essentially, because they're going to, quote-unquote, evolve.
Right.
By getting older. You feed them a bunch of candy in your dark dungeon, and then you feed them to each other, and then they become really strong, and then you make them fight for you.
I mean, aside from the dungeon part, no, you feed them in their tiny encaptured balls that they live in.
Dungeons, yes.
Cannibal Battle Royale.
I mean, honestly, there's a whole lot of like questionable stuff about, especially in Pokemon Go. This is not how evolution works in the regular Pokemon games,
or in real life either.
or in real life. So, but yeah, no, I that, and I kept catching a Pikachu a set of Pikachus that had both a hat and sunglasses. I don't know why. Yeah, essentially. You
have to send him back to his home planet.
So, but I got a Blastoise. I'm trying to pull it up right now. There it is.
Coffee.
There's my Blastoise.
That is a Blastoise.
He looks like a mad dude with machine gun shoulders.
Yeah, Blastoise got that hydro pump. So.
Oh, that's water?
He's a water type Pokemon, so yes, he shoots out water.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so I was playing Pokemon Go. And I keep hearing people talk about essentially the Jurassic World ripoff game of this, where you find dinosaurs instead of Pokemon. So,
I mean, why not?
Do you capture them in tiny little dungeons and make them fight each other?
That's the thing. I don't know enough about it. Like, I don't know how the capture mechanic works, or I mean, again, in Jurassic World, not to get into spoilers, but like at one point the dinosaurs can be both like lumbering, like, oh, they're so huge and they cause the world to shake, and at other points they're ninjas, and like they're the same huge dinosaurs. So
opening doors carefully, all that good stuff, you know, that dinosaurs would do.
Like I'm more talking like the T-Rex can both be a ninja and like
it just teleported, like it just went
like it was like, where did that come from? Like, how did no one notice this?
Yeah, that's a lot like how
especially the guy who was
Walking
looking
Dead.
Right at it.
Right, like he had to have been looking in the direction where it was when he was moving.
Yeah.
Where
and there's no trees or buildings or anything for it to hide behind.
Nope.
No, because they show another dinosaur in that scene that he doesn't know is coming because it's behind him, and you're like, oh, that's the dinosaur that's gonna kill him.
Oh, and it's definitely not that dinosaur from the first Jurassic World that's got like a, active camo suit built into its skin.
It's not the Indominus Rex, no.
Which is like the dumbest thing ever.
It's actually BD Wong in a raptor costume.
Wait till you see the second movie, and then tell me if you think the Indominus Rex is the dumbest thing ever.
All right, no, I don't know. That movie looks so bad. I just don't have any interest.
Like, that movie is just all based on dumb people. Like, stop putting dumb people in management positions. That's how you fix Jurassic. And I understand the whole the whole background of the book is you can't control nature or whatnot. Like, we can do a better job at least. Like, we can figure.
They've clearly given up hope.
Like, we could at least figure out a better way to support this than how we are doing it right now.
We could not like lock ourselves in a confined area with a dinosaur, like by choice.
Like yeah, like
the store. All right, there we go.
Like, no, it's cool. Like, also, why did none? Like, this is a problem in all of the Jurassic Parks. Why did none of the flying dinosaurs leave the island? Like,
well, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, there's a scene where like you see them again. It's like they weren't here. Like, where were you?
In the first Jurassic, the first Jurassic Park trilogy, you're like, where did this giant bird cage come from? That was not in this movie. That was not on this island.
Nah, it was in like, I think the first book.
Hey, it's in the books. Well, there's a whole lot in the books that's not like.
Yeah.
There was no giant bird cage in the first movie, and then in the second one, it's like giant bird cage on the same island.
Just like, Hammond was doing this on his own time. Didn't tell anybody though.
He didn't feel like sharing with the people that were supposed to validate his park that, hey, we have flying dinosaurs. Maybe you should take a look at them.
He spared no expense.
Though, on the other hand, there was an excellent lady that was cosplaying as John Hammond this weekend, and she made.
I thought you meant in the movie.
No, in the this weekend at NJ GamerCon, she made the cane and whatnot. Like, it was
tiny.
It was
I saw the pictures. That was actually Colonel Sanders.
With an amber in a mosquito amber thing.
Sorry, you mentioned Colonel Sanders, and I just
my God, have you seen that stupid clip from General Hospital?
No.
That is not where I was going, but okay, what?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've been targeted with promotional advertising from KFC where they're promoting
targeted.
Oh my, yeah.
Targeted.
I just
like they just want to take you out. Like, what is this?
I don't understand why.
Like, all bucket will fix him.
Like, these are promoting tweets, whatever. And they kept showing, and I'm forgetting his name again, but the guy who plays the crispy Colonel, and he's like, he's gonna be on General Hospital, and I was like, that's weird. And then General Hospital posted the clip, like their Twitter account posted the clip on Twitter, and the KFC thing retweeted that, and that got promoted to me, even though I don't follow either of these things. And I just had to watch it. It was like 4 minutes long. The most bizarre script I think I've ever heard on television ever.
That's a bold
statement. I'm not even kidding. I like, it was really difficult for me to even follow what he was supposedly talking about. I just stared at it and I wondered, is this how dumb daytime soap operas are all the time? Or was this just a special case for people who eat fried chicken all day long? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's worth a look just to have your jaw hit the floor and wonder what in the world's going on.
Sold.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go a different way with this. Speaking of Colonel Sanders and Papa John and his dumbass. And I don't know if you've seen his response. He was on some kind of like PR training thing and used a racial slur, and his response was, "Well, Colonel Sanders used it."
What?
I read.
Is this a recent thing?
That was today. Yes.
Why? I thought. I mean, I know that guy.
I thought he got.
Like, he wasn't like, it's still his company, but he was like removed from being CEO or whatever.
Or like the spokesman or something along.
I don't think he's the spokesman. I believe, at least from the article I was reading, it seemed like he was still the CEO.
Okay.
Like, they're not putting his face on TV anymore.
Right. I knew he had at least a reduced role of some type, but now he's...
And again, if you want to talk about racial sensitivity and, like, just being a good person, I would totally use Colonel Sanders, a guy born in 1890, as the way of, not
the beacon of hope.
So let's look forward to back in the day.
A guy that held an honorary non-military Kentucky Colonel.
Yeah, actually, I did kind of recently read a little blurb, although most of it I forget, about Colonel Sanders, like the person. And apparently he attempted to do many things in his life until he was like really old, and he decided to start like frying chicken in a gas station, and a couple of people liked it, so he opened up a couple others, and then by the time he was dead, another company owned his stuff, and he was like, yeah, whoever runs this place now, they're terrible, and I don't endorse their chicken, so screw you, I'm crawling into the ground. And that was the end. Like, okay. Guy sounds like an awesome dude.
Yeah, anyway, it was, and that moron. Right, anyway, sorry, but you brought up Papa John. I was like, yep, that guy.
Did we bring up Papa John? Or did we bring up Colonel Sanders?
Or Colonel Sanders, and that brought up Papa John. Good point, Mike. Good point.
Who turned the TV on? What TV?
Good looking out.
Classy Joes.
Anyway, Aaron, what have you been playing? Please take this away.
I might have mentioned this already. I don't know if I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, but I did finish up Yoku's Island Express on the Xbox One. It's the pinball game with the dung beetle. So that's a fun game.
Was it fun all the way to the end?
Fun all the way to the end. My only gripe with it was more of like just my lack of skill and of not being really good at pinball and spending maybe a little bit too much time on some of the tables. But yeah, but it was really fun. It's a weird Metroidvania dung beetle pinball game. That sounds weird. It sounds weird to say, and maybe awkward to hear. I don't know. Still playing Pode on the Switch. I'm stuck. I actually had to do a little video and send it to like the developer because there's something I should have done to solve a puzzle and I didn't, and I don't know how I can like redo a certain like room. It's a game where like one character is like a crystal kind of rock thing and the other character is like a little ball of like light, and it's co-op, so you can have two people play, but you can also just switch when you want to play solo. And they both react with different things. Like the little light can react with like plant life and things like that to solve puzzles. The crystal guy can like swallow blocks or like even like sort of swallow the light character for different puzzles and stuff like that. So I don't know. I hope to get unstuck from that. We'll see what happens. Okay. 20XX came out for the Switch and I think other PS4 and Xbox One, some other consoles as well. I think, I'm not sure.
I believe so.
Yeah, 20XX has been on Steam for a couple of years now. It's clearly Mega Man X. Was it procedurally generated levels, roguelite? No, it's fun. It's still fun. So, and of course, this version has all the benefits of all the different updates and things that have been on the Steam version for several years. So it's still fun. Played some Candle. I got 3 emails like for this game, Candle Power of the Flame. I got 3 emails with a code for PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. They really want me to play this game, or want somebody to play this game. So I don't know. I say if you mention it, if you mention an email or a tweet, I'll give you the PS4 or the Xbox One version of the game. It's interesting. It's a platformer, but it's a kind of a platformer that like kind of thinks it's a point and click adventure in a weird way. It's not like a fluid platform where you're like jumping over things and vaulting. It's very slow and deliberate. Pick this up, do this with it. I like it. It's different. It's a kind of game where you look at it and think it would not have like really rich voiceovers and stuff like that, but it really does. And like I said, it's a very deliberate game. It is not like a pick up and like just vault over stuff and jump to the flagpole. It's take your time with it, but it seems pretty cool so far. Game I was really looking forward to, played it at PAX East, Semblance. I got that in for review, having a ton of fun with that. That's the puzzle platform where like this little blob character, and you have to sort of like deform. Now, Tyler, if you remember, Semblance was the booth that was right near Shack News.
Right, that's what I was. I was like, yeah,
I could see it in your face. You were like,
I was like, wait, semblance. I know that. Why do I know that? And then,
it's a lot of fun. Like it's the kind of game where you'll have to basically like bend different objects and things in order to create platforms and like that to collect these little red jewels and things like that. It's pretty neat. And there were like 3 or 4 times where I was like, I'm not getting past this level. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm done. And then I would get past it. But then I got to this one part. I'm like, I really don't want to figure this out. But it's really fun to kind of figure out how you have to sort of like bend the environment, to make like a platform or a ledge to jump up something that you never had any idea you could really get up there. So I was looking forward to it. It's a ton of fun. Really enjoying it. Mother Gunship. Playing that earlier on Xbox One. It reminds me of Tower of Guns.
Okay, I saw an email about this earlier today.
Yeah, it's fun, and the whole thing is, I think the rooms are procedurally generated. The whole point of the game is like to earn money to just craft these ridiculous weapons. Like the game even tells you can make a gun with like 40 barrels on it, but it probably means you can just shoot it once. Have to wait like a minute for it to reload. But I mean, it's nuts. You could add all types of crap. I had like fireworks, a chain gun, a shotgun. It's nuts. Like, you can really just customize a gun like any kind of way you want. It's nuts. So I'm enjoying that. The Journey Down, which was a point-and-click adventure on PC like 4 or 5 years ago. It's been out for a while.
Right.
Came to Steam, all 3 parts. And I finished the first part years ago, and then was kind of waiting around for the second one and just kind of lost track of it. Never played it. So now I have all 3 on Switch. So hopefully I'll be able to finish that up soon. Playing Bomberman R. Xavier Woods from WWE is in the game and he does a voice for the character. That's kind of cool. Master Chief is in it. This is the Xbox One version, of course. It was a launch title for the Switch, but they've added a lot of characters since then. Simon Belmont's in it and Dracula, but it's still a Bomberman. It's the same core game from that's on the Switch. It's still fun. It's Bomberman. Play the demo of Fling to the Finish. This is one of the indie games that I checked out at Too Many Games, where it's the kind of game where there's 2 characters who are tethered, and you can either play it single player, play by yourself using each analog stick and the bumpers and triggers to make the characters like jump or adhere to certain objects, or you can do the thing where you can share a controller and frustrate yourself by sharing one controller with someone else, because that sounds like fun. I mean, it's nice that they did it, but you can do that in Overcooked too, but that just seems like a nightmare. But I ran through the demo with the youngest. It was fun. It's pretty goofy. What else did I play? A game called Rifter. It's a really like psychedelic, like fast action, like fast moving platformer where you have to like swing, and it's one of those games where it's like some ill parkour stuff that you're doing, but it's pretty neat. That's on Steam. So Rifter's pretty neat. What else? And then I checked out a game called Sleep Tight for on Steam, but it's coming out in consoles and Switch and everything else anyway. It's a game where like top down view, you're a kid, you're having nightmares, and monsters are coming to attack you. So it's not a twin stick shooter, but like I said, it's top down. You do have to hit the right trigger to shoot, but you want to earn like dream points as you kill monsters. You get like a currency, and you can buy like furniture to block certain ways the monsters can get in. You can buy like turrets and keep upgrading the environment so you can kill the monsters faster and easier, and then make it through the nights. And then in the morning, that's when you kind of make your plans and buy all your crap in order to prepare for the next night. For some reason, it's just a number of monsters coming in your room to kill you, because that's kids, shooting monsters at night. That's what you do.
Gotcha.
And then since Mike mentioned a couple of pickups, I went ahead and picked up Elf for the Sega Master System. This is a terrible game, but I own it now. And I saw a video of this. I'm surprised I never picked it up, even like when it was out, because I really liked the 94 edition of this game. And I never played 99 for the N64, but NHL 99, it looked pretty good. So I picked that up. My wife kept asking me, what did you get from Portugal? And I got Dragon, the Bruce Lee story for the Master System.
Ooh. Wow.
On eBay.
That was on Jaguar.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a terrible game, by the way.
I assume not the same game.
I mean, it looks...
Well, on Jaguar, it was a one-on-one fighter.
Oh, I was going to say, like, a Master System game and a Jaguar game, like, it's a big gulf in technology.
Yeah, but there were a handful of Jaguar games that were basically Genesis games, and Genesis games oftentimes were filtered down onto the Master System, so
many times.
It didn't seem out of the realm of possibility to me.
I have another example of that. It is a different game, though, a Batman Returns. For the Sega Master System. So it's a pretty good game, though. It's a pretty good version. It's different than the Genesis version. And somebody actually on Twitter had to remind me that there was an NES version of this game. I completely forgot about that.
There was a Atari Lynx version of that game.
Okay.
Or at least a game called Batman Returns, anyway. I'm sure it was nothing
Gear,
like that.
I think, so.
Probably.
So sure
Batman was hot in the early 90s.
Yeah, and the late 80s when the first, there was a movie in the 60s, but that's another story. We've heard enough about Bat Shark Repellent. And I picked up Drop Mix. It was what?
I've been looking at that. I should have
$30.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, it's $30 now on Amazon. It was $30 at Best Buy, and then I ordered a bunch of the what do you call them? The Discover packs.
The expansions or whatever.
Yeah, and I know nothing about them, so I'm at Best Buy picking them up, and the lady there is helping me peel back the sticker because, of course, they put the sticker right over the front, and apparently there's there's 6 different packs for series 1 and series 2. So I ordered 6 of them, but 2 of them were dupes. So I got 2 out of the 6 for series 1 and series 2. So I don't know.
It does not look like you can buy it online from Best Buy.
Oh no, it's gone. I mean, even when I got the cards, like they just stopped selling that stuff. Like it's done.
Well, see, that's weird because supposedly the reason that Harmonix said that it was going on is because season 2 of content is coming out.
But no store is going to carry it.
Well, that'd be odd that it's done and then also season 2 content is coming out.
Well,
for
season 2 or series 2? Because I have series 2 stuff out already.
Maybe it's series 2. I thought it was season, but I could be wrong.
I didn't think it really sold all that well.
There are none available.
Doesn't seem like it.
It was a lot.
Yeah, there are none available within a 250-mile. Let's go check Amazon.
Yeah, a number of stores were doing the $30 thing for the base game.
So,
it should be pretty fun. If not, we'll just blame Mike. So there you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's $47 on Amazon right now. I'm not gonna pay that. So
it was $29. It was 2 hours ago. It was $29.99.
I'm looking at it right now. $47.68.
What have you done?
So, yep. Guess I missed my chance. That's a shame.
Now you'll be fine.
How terrible.
Yeah, I'm very upset about it. Very upset.
And then as in coming yet, but I may or may not have ordered an iQue off of eBay. But that's not the point.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Did you see
that
Nintendo
N64 thing?
Yeah.
Did you see Nintendo's thing where I didn't think the iQue was that rare. I don't know if you watched Nintendo's latest video.
Yeah, I watch it.
But what was it? You said there was 12,000 units made or whatever, and he was estimating it should be $300 to $400. I've never seen the iQue for that much.
I ordered it for $150.
So
I've never looked, and I don't want one.
Well, when I was in Alaska, I was actually holding one. The guy was like, "Yeah, I'll get, I'm charging $350 for it." I was like, I don't know. Yeah, $150 is much better than $350.
Yeah, that feels like an Alaska cost, though.
Yeah, were you in a Blockbuster while you were trying to buy it?
Yeah, I feel like
I had one foot in a Blockbuster and another foot in another store. They were very close together. Oh, Scoop Moose says Shopping Enthuse Live is my favorite show. So yeah, sir, you want a picture of me holding up Elf to the camera? Just do a screen capture. There you go. Boom.
How about I'll hold up some of my recent pickups in front of my monitor, and you can just guess what they look like.
TurboGrafx chips. TurboGrafx.
My buddy gave me a Wrestle.
You guessed correctly. You win an imaginary picture of me holding 3 TurboGrafx chips to the monitor.
I got some boxed wrestling game on N64 for free at Too Many Games.
I'm sure it has a name.
Is it WrestleMania 2000? Is that one of?
And why was it free?
Because one of my extra lifers brought it for me.
Oh, okay.
Like he had it.
Not like somebody wanted to get rid of it so badly that they just threw it at you.
Who would give away that game? It's so good.
So,
what kind of monster would do that?
It has a lenticular back.
Oh, you showed me that. I was mesmerized by it because it wasn't simply 2 images. It was like a constant morphing of, I don't know,
like each angle is a
pictures or something. Yeah. It's very strange.
What? It was. So most lenticular backs are like 2 or 3 images. So like it gives the illusion. Like this seems to have more images in it. We have to look at it.
Yeah, it was like if you tilted it very slowly, it was a new image every like
15 degrees or something. Like
you see red. Is that okay?
So anyway,
that's ECW.
Yeah.
ECW.
So, but I don't know. I have Octopath Traveler coming on Friday.
Yeah, I'm completely indifferent to that stuff. So yeah.
Technically, I have 2 copies, but someone else wants the collector's edition I bought, so I'm just gonna sell it to them and have a regular copy. So, but yeah,
all right.
So
I was gonna say, apparently, Lando Calrissian is going to be in Episode 9.
It's going to be in the next Star Wars movie.
If only he had been in Episode 8, I might have cared.
Yeah, I might have. I still liked Episode 8, but there was definitely some issues with it that just made no sense.
I rewatched it, and yes, I think some of those issues, like again, why do things make sound? That can be heard on the planet.
The biggest problem with all of Star Wars,
that's the biggest issue. Yeah, that's it.
But I think I actually enjoyed that movie a lot more than rewatching it. I enjoyed that movie a lot.
I saw it twice. I liked it better the second time. But
now that it's on Netflix, watching it on Netflix, it was
I feel like I just need a wheel next to my desk that's like one of those prize wheel things, and I just spin it, and whatever lands, I describe what was a terrible thing about that movie.
Wow.
And even though I don't have the wheel, I'll just randomly select, hey, why was Phasma such a worthless character? And why did she go out in such a terrible way?
That's been the last 2
That's a good question.
She was also pointless in
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Well, she wasn't pointless. She was actually detrimental to her own cause. Got lots of her brethren killed. Like she could have easily just said no, and then the thing would not have blown up.
Right, like she was.
So she's actually a really terrible character, but only because of the way she's written. Because she could have actually been really good.
Right. So I mean, also. Elisa or Benicio del Toro's character, where it's
that was
okay.
Bye.
Yeah, like you were here and then you weren't, and now we're done.
And then I can't help but wonder, like, if Jedi ghosts can like make lightning strike and things like that, then a little help. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Again, especially after so many years, it's not like we're calling up somebody who is like still in the mourning phase or something. Like, dude, that guy's been gone for so long. It's
again.
It just proves that anybody could show up at any time.
I'm just saying,
and have any power at any time.
Right.
Yeah. Luke did exactly what he was trained to do, because that's what all the other Jedi before him have done. Any of the important Jedi. So anyway, all those slaughtered fools in second movie called Episode 2. Yeah,
Attack of the Clones.
All the Padawans and
really
Order 66 and whatnot.
Have you seen that recently? Gosh, horrible.
But like look at it, like the Emperor takes over and whatnot, and Yoda like gets his ass kicked in the thing. And what's Yoda's plan? Not like go support the Resistance or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's go hang out on a swamp planet.
Right. But it was all they had to shoehorn it in because it was already established that he was self-exiled. It's just how they had him decide to do it was like the quickest turn ever.
Guess what? That's come home to roost. Because guess what Luke did? The exact same thing.
Yeah. But the problem is that wasn't already established for Luke. He could have done anything, and they're like,
he could have, but he literally followed his master's, like what his master did. Like it 100% makes sense.
Well, if technically his
concept,
original master went out, he went out pretty well.
No, his original master was also terrible. He was like, "Hey, I got into a sword fight," and then decided not to actually fight in the sword fight.
Well, I think the better argument is
he was there.
He also self-exiled for a long time.
And also, guess what Luke did? He got into a fight and then just died. Sorry for Last Jedi spoilers. Now it's on Netflix. It's your own problem.
But not even through.
Like it's just like Luke is just a reflection of Obi-Wan and older Obi-Wan and older Yoda.
Except that the way it's made is it's just in the script, and then he died. It's not like a lightsaber went through his skull and then he died. It was just he didn't get injured and then he died.
I think
he exhausted himself.
He
got tired and then he died.
I mean, he discovered teleconferencing, Jedi teleconferencing, and then died. Like he's the Cisco of
across the universe. Right. Saw his bill as he called into Germany, and then he died.
That's the
nice callback.
I have been listening.
So anyway, yeah. So Last Jedi.
Oh, Scoop says he might just be sleeping. Well,
he could be.
He could be,
and I think that's 100%.
He might have also gone out to the farm upstate.
I think
well, how do you explain like his body disappearing and then the cloak blowing off the cliff? Like if he's dead, like he's gone.
I mean, he. Wait, does his body disappear?
Yeah, the cloak just kind of collapses.
I don't remember that. I remember seeing him.
I thought you saw it twice.
I did. I saw it recently. I remember him falling over. I don't remember his body.
Did you fall
fell
over?
asleep by that point in the movie.
Maybe I stopped it. I might have stopped it. Like I'm gonna be like, we're done.
I think the worst part about it was just the fact that it's not like the way they tied it. Like there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing with like Carrie Fisher passing away and whatnot. That makes me think like I don't know. You could try.
They bet on the wrong horse.
You could try and make Luke come back. Like you could try and.
No, that would make.
They could, but if they wanted, they had ample time. If they wanted to do that, they had ample time to change the final release version of that movie. They could have just not made him disappear, and then he could have come back. They didn't want it. They wanted the same thing, and
Mike,
I just don't know what they're going to do to explain what happened to Leia at this point.
Mike, much like the X-Men movies. Maybe they just decide that Mystique's eyes flash, and then it's not actually Mystique.
Well, Scoop says it ties to the Marvel universe. He shrunk down with the Pym particles, man.
I was going to make an Infinity War joke, but I thought it might be too soon.
Maybe the midichlorians, like nanomachines, could just bring the now non-existent corpse of Luke back.
I just wonder
maybe
they had meetings
or
about
maybe
this
he's
movie.
just a really chatty Jedi ghost. Like, guess what?
Nah, he doesn't talk that much.
But I mean, like when they had meetings about how the writers are talking, it's like, what are we going to introduce another character for the next one? Like,
well, isn't that what Lando's going to be?
I
Lando
we know who he is already. Like they wiped out one of the characters that you knew almost nothing about. They're gone. So what else is there?
But
you have angsty teenager. Like that's.
I would be very surprised if they had it in mind all along to bring Billy D. Williams back for the last movie.
I don't think they did. I think this is like, hey, we need someone else from those original movies because we've literally killed off everyone else.
Right. Maybe we should have thought this through because it was scripted as such, except for in one case.
Yeah, Chewie can't carry this by himself. He literally doesn't actually talk.
Right.
So, and R2-D2 and C-3PO ain't that interesting.
Did you want to see Solo?
I did not.
Wow, you guys never saw Solo? Wow.
I don't know.
I didn't go to movies that much.
I'll watch it when it's on Netflix, if it or the Disney subscription service, if that comes first. I don't know.
I'd love to discuss it. I mean, because there's some stuff in there where you're just like, wait, what? Like,
I mean, that was around the same time as Deadpool and Ready Player One. I didn't see any of those movies.
Yeah, I've been too busy to see any of that. See anything.
That sounds like excuses, man.
Where's
says
reasons?
He died, man. He blew up in the front of the ship, of the bridge.
Yeah, they kill him at the end of Empire.
Yeah, he doesn't float back into the ship like some people.
Oh.
So anyway, like we'll see. I don't know.
Star Wars also mentioned that apparently Neil Blomkamp of District 9 fame is remaking RoboCop.
Yeah.
Wait. He's making a sequel to the original, right?
I thought it was a reboot.
No, I just read this today. They're making a direct sequel to the original movie, and they're going to adapt the script from original writers who were working on a sequel script before RoboCop 2 actually got written.
So this is Polygon article to the original RoboCop, not RoboCop 2, not RoboCop 3.
The Polygon article says RoboCop Returns pitched as a direct sequel to the original. So essentially, this is the Jurassic World treatment. We're going to pretend the second two movies didn't happen, and
the second one was like violent.
This is a trend.
Yeah.
I mean, the Terminator's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Terminator is dead, right? That's
no. James Cameron has the rights again, and Terminator 2 Part 2 is coming out next year.
Why?
And apparently already being filmed.
Yeah. And apparently Halloween is also doing the same thing.
And Halloween is doing the exact same thing.
This will be the third or fourth movie called Halloween in the Halloween franchise. Like, what? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. In Halloween H2O, Jamie Lee Curtis kills Michael Myers. He's pinned like against a tree in a car. She cuts his head off. Dead. Somehow he comes back in Halloween Resurrection, kills her in that movie. So what is this like? So this is a sequel to
this is a direct sequel to only the original Halloween.
So why are they called Halloween?
This is a crazy trend in Hollywood.
Halloween 2 already exists, right?
So does Halloween.
They're just like, let's recapture the magic by pretending all of the sequels don't exist. Except for this one we're doing right now, which is going to be terrible.
This is how you can start a whole new line.
This is
just breaking news coming in from the newsroom. I don't know why I'm putting my hand to my head. Papa John's founder, John Shatner, has resigned as the company's chairman of the board.
He says, I now sweep the toilets for the company. Can I get any lower, please?
He is now the CEO of KFC.
They hired him on. They said, we like the way you think.
You are Colonel Sanders like.
So breaking news.
Wow. Right. So I saw the trailer for Halloween and thought, why would I get excited about this movie? I've seen this 8 times. Like, why?
Well, I mean, isn't that all the Halloween movies? Like, he kills a bunch of people, they somehow stop him. But only temporarily.
Kind of all of those movies.
Who's going to be Loomis in this, or is he dead in this?
I don't know.
No idea.
Dude, I've seen the first one only, and that's enough.
I honestly, I don't think it... Halloween's probably the one I've seen the least.
2, 6... There's no 6. That was The Curse of Michael Myers, was the 6th one.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Is that the one that... what's the white zombie guy's name? Didn't he make 2 of them?
Yeah, Rob Zombie did 2 remakes of the first 2.
Yeah. So
yeah, they were. Yeah,
like Devil May Cry, reboots are thrown in the trash, and we're going back to sequels to the old ones.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I had no idea Terminator was. I thought Terminator was on the shelf because Genesis did so poorly.
Well, that is ignored. This is like the Sarah Connor Chronicles, except for a movie.
A bigger budget.
It's like, don't they know this stuff is bad when they're making it? They're like, here's what we're gonna do: have a new Terminator where John Connor is the Terminator.
By the time you're making it, by the time you're making it, like, it's way too, like, it has to be terrible for someone to be like, yeah, we're not gonna release that.
But they could have known. Like, that movie was so. I was in the theater like, Well, I guess the D box is sort of keeping me awake, but I mean, the rest of it, I'm in the seat like I've already paid for it. Like, you know.
And I mean, the other thing is the weird like it probably got tested and it tested well with some group.
Yeah, with 3 blind mice, it tested well.
Yeah, I don't know what group, but like it probably tested well.
Somewhere overseas, apparently, because that's where all the money was made.
I was thinking more with millennials.
Oh.
Wait, I'm a millennial.
What is the
I'm
cutoff
guilty
of that
enough
again?
to say, at least
in
the theater. In the theater.
2000 or something?
I enjoyed Genesis in the theater. It took me a while to realize how bad that movie is. I had to watch it a couple more times.
Why would you watch it more? I saw it once, D-Box in the theater. I never need to see that movie ever again. Never.
It just completely... It starts off really interesting to me. Like, I really dig the let's redo the Terminator 1 thing exactly as it happened.
Yeah, in theory.
And then it just goes off the rails, like, slowly and then really quickly. And then the end is like, I've watched the end like 4 times. I'm still not even sure what happened and why he's now like a T-1000. It just doesn't make any sense. He's just like, something fell on my face and now I can just reshape myself. All right, whatever. It makes no sense.
Okay, I know we got to wrap up with just one question. Is Terminator Genesis better or worse than Terminator... What was the other
3?
one? No, not 3. The one after that.
Salvation.
Which one is worse?
They're so different because Salvation took itself so seriously.
Yeah, it did.
And it's just like a really boring movie. Whereas Genesis at least has better moments in it than Salvation does. But Salvation has some elements that are like, oh, that could have been interesting if this was a better movie.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
We'll send out an emotional and an emo Terminator to infiltrate and kill John Connor. Okay.
We have the ability to travel back in time. Why don't we just go kill Sarah Connor? Like, as a child.
That was what Genesis was.
Yeah.
They tried that too. And apparently another Terminator that they never explained where it came from saved her instead.
Right.
I don't remember that part.
That's why he was there to grow up with her. Or grow old while she grew up or whatever.
So.
It was just hey, Arnold's old. How do we explain this?
Right.
I don't know. How about he went back in time earlier and aged?
Yeah, it made Terminator 3 look like good.
But then she didn't recognize him.
Terminator 3 was funny, though. It was dumb, but it was funny.
Terminator 3's humor...
Isn't Terminator 3 the one that ends with them being in the bunker and, like, it's the beginning of the...
Right.
With a bunch of analog computers?
Yeah, the whole movie was just campy nonsense until the end where it got, like, deathly serious. You're like, oh my god. All right. And that's how we got like a super serious sequel, which was
that actor like disappeared, like no one ever saw him again. So it's just weird. Yeah,
Nick Stahl, I think his name is.
Has he been found since, or he's still?
I don't know, dude. I think he's like DB Cooper style. Just don't ever look for me.
He jumped out of a plane.
I think he just was like, how do I disappear forever? He went off the grid like John Connor did in the beginning of that movie. I don't know. I have not thought in years to try to even look that dude up. So anyway,
guest on next week's show. All
right. Steve Ditka passed away. Passed away.
One of the co-creators of Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man, a bunch of other characters. So.
No, just Spider-Man.
Like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like the other half of Stan Lee, but everyone knows who Stan Lee is.
Apparently, he also drew a lot of the Transformers coloring books, of which I have at least one of.
From memory.
I meant to look it up, but just to see if his name is on the cover of the one that I have.
I did not know that he drew coloring books.
Well, I followed Transformer people who were like, hey, notable for doing this obscure Transformers thing.
I know he did Doctor Strange, and a lot of the weird ass characters in there. So anyway, I think he was in DC. So, but yeah, passed away. We got anything else we want to cover?
Nope.
Pull the plug on this one.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Just gonna throw this out here real quick. Yo, the bullshit that went down at ArenaNet is a hot bunch of bullshit.
Fill me in, because I don't know.
Over the July 4th holiday, a developer, Julie Price, was talking about essentially the difficulties of like narrative in MMOs with allowing the player to be able to like make personal decisions. So as you compare, like, hey, if your character in Grand Theft Auto, the storyline makes a different decision than you, well, that's the story they've written, so it's okay. The player accepts that, as this is just the direction of the story. But in MMO, you have more control over your character because like you're customizing all their features, blah blah blah. And then this guy who's a content or like an influencer responds, well, that's not how I see it here, or like this is how you could fix it. And then she's like, well, thanks for telling me how to do my job, person who has no experience doing this, and I've been doing this for a decade. She gets snarky. People then get mad that they feel she's being rude to this guy. So they start demanding her be fired. Her coworker comes to her defense and says, like, yo, I don't have to deal with this shit, and I think it's because I have a penis. And ArenaNet then fires both of them on the morning of the 5th. So...
Wow.
And this all takes place on their personal Twitter, like not on the company. It wasn't, yeah. Lot of bullshit. Lot of bullshit. So anyway, there are much more informed pieces you can read on like Polygon and Waypoint and that kind of stuff. But that is my like 2-minute overview.
And your new blog called The Tiny Tales.
It's
which you just started momentarily.
Tiny Tales?
I don't know. I'm grasping.
I like the idea of having someone else other than me have additional responsibilities that could be entertaining.
What responsibilities?
Mike, that was a haiku.
I'm confused.
I'm just saying, if it was called Assault Suit Tales, I would say that's a horrible idea, burn it in the pit.
Oh, okay.
But because it's Tiny Tales, I'm intrigued, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
So, yeah. It's... Yes, she got snarky. I don't think that anything... anyway. Like, yo... I think she was completely okay in that, and it was hot bullshit. What happened? And I would say I wouldn't support ArenaNet stuff, but I don't play ArenaNet stuff right now, so that's not really that hard. So, because I think they're only making Guild Wars anymore. So,
and I happily don't play that.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
let's get out of here.
Yeah, peace.
Anything anybody wants to, shout outs, plugs, all that stuff, but I don't.
Mike, you want to do your thing?
Sure. I as always encourage those who are eligible to donate blood. Although I have been lax in the recent couple of months, but responsibilities and such. And if you have any pets, to have them spayed or neutered
by a professional.
Well, naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be at PsychoCon, which is an anime convention in Allentown.
All about the movie Psycho?
Yeah, it's actually you know what?
What?
we do pretty well at horror events, so I would be okay with that. So,
but it's anime Psycho?
It's SAIO or SAIOCON, I think is how it's spelled. It's in Allentown. I will be there 3 days, the 27th through the 29th.
Everybody cosplays as Norman Bates, or the sign of the Bates Motel.
Oh, can I cosplay as Norman Jaden?
Norman Jaden.
Only getting a red balloon.
I mean, if you really want to.
How
far of a drive is Allentown for you? Like a couple hours or something?
Hour and a half. Okay. According to Google, it was an hour and a half. Though I'm thinking I'm going to stay local. But the hotels are so expensive just for that weekend. I'm annoyed that Google showed me how much like a hotel would cost this weekend.
That's crazy. Allentown is not like that. Yeah, ain't that big a deal.
So I again, they're expensive. It's expensive to stay at this hotel for that weekend because of this event. Like I'm 100% certain of that.
Because there's one hotel.
But yeah, it's the host hotel.
Wow.
I'm sure I could find another one, but I haven't.
So where are you staying? Just look at the person.
Yeah, I've put no effort into this yet. So, anyway, so yeah, hey, I'll be there. And hey, if you haven't signed up yet, go to extra-life.org/team/ or GameEnthus. And come join our team.
I get to watch the incredible
wind
up for that one.
I messed up on that one. Anyway, or search for the team GameEnthus. Come join us. If you can't, hey, please feel free to donate. We support a plethora of different hospitals, including. Actually, are you both supporting Johns Hopkins?
I either am or plan to. I don't remember.
So, yeah, I mean, right now it's to Johns Hopkins and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, the oldest and greatest children's hospital in the States. Yeah, like, I mean, or come join and support your own children's hospital. They're 170. So it takes about 10 seconds to get an email. If you can do it, great. If not, ignore the email. So, and we also have to, at some point, start figuring out when we want to, like, do that this year.
At some point, yes.
At some point, yeah. We should probably, like, start putting down ideas because people's schedules are tough to coordinate. So, anyway, what about you, Aaron?
I was gonna say shout out to Mike J. He's in Poland right now, and his only reason for going there was two reasons. One, that's home, and two, to find virtual games for me, and I appreciate that. It's an expensive trip. So.
That's dedication right there.
Exactly. He's a good friend. So, shout out to him. Shout out to those who are, Scoop Moose, anybody who peeked in the show tonight. We appreciate it. Listeners, if you want to leave us feedback, podcast at GameEnthus.com, voicemail 202-573-7686. And, yeah, I think that's it. Mike, good to have you back, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I feel like the saddle may feel a little odd from not having sat in it in a while, but I don't know. Hopefully, I'll acclimate a little bit better as the weeks and months march on.
All right. Good. I guess that's it. Lord willing, we'll be back next week. Yeah. Everybody good?
Peace.
Sure.
Sure. I could go blinder.
Wait, that's the end of the show? I thought I was sitting through the pre-show warm-up.
What?
Well,
that's Scoop's response.
This was longer than I thought we'd be on, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like, I was thinking like, all right, I'm out at 10. 10 o'clock is good. I'm done.
I mean, we didn't start till 9:40. So
I'm Norman Jaden getting out
that made it difficult.
6 more hours. Sorry, Scoop. We gotta go to bed. We gotta go to work and all that stuff. Yeah.
Norman Jaden.
I'm so glad they put Heavy Rain up for free. I was getting ready to buy it, and I'm glad I got it for free.
I'm slightly annoyed that I got it as part of the collector's edition of Become Human. And then they gave it away literally the next month away for free.
Yeah, they did.
Also supposed to be a bad version of the game. So I've read.
Really?
I haven't heard.
Like lots of bugs, timing issues, things like that.
I wasn't going to play it again, Mike. Let's not be.
Yeah, but that's the disappointing thing because I probably won't play it again, but I feel like I would like to, and pretending that I have the best version available to me on a current generation console makes me feel better about the insecurities in my life.
Gotcha.
Wow. We should talk.
I mean, I bought, actually, I looked through the Sony sale today, and like there's some good stuff on sale. Like for dollars. Like
no, there
like
is. There's too many. I can't play all these things.
I think only because of Cyril's recommendation, but I picked up the Wipeout collection when they had it for like $13 a week or two ago.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever play it, but I
didn't get anything from the Steam sale. I looked at it. I was like,
I did not get anything from the Steam sale.
I was so close so many times and just went, no, wait. And then it was over. I was like, oh, okay.
But I did get what was it? I got like the Twisted Metal Black, the PS2 backwards compatible on PS4 for like $1.49. Like, I'll probably play enough to support $1.49.
Oh, I was more than happy to just watch YouTube videos of the endings for that game because I had no interest in playing it.
So, or I did pick up the Marvel Ultimate Alliance collection finally, or the 2.
Yeah, apparently the Steam version of the first one does not have controller support because I was really close to buying it.
Man.
I was like, oh, man.
I bought it on PS4. Ridiculous. It was like $12 for both of them. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
So, yeah.
Is that?
I think it still is right now. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because the Steam version was like $10. Oh yeah, $10, great. But then I'm like, wait a minute, no controller support. What is that?
Yeah, I'll log in right now and see. But
we can always use third-party software to like.
Yeah, I don't want to use Joy to Key. I don't.
Joy to Key, like it's just so fucking annoying.
Like, that just seems exactly.
And I know there's profiles and whatnot you can do, but
yeah, I jumped through a lot of hoops to play that Indiana Jones game on PC from like 2003. Not worth the effort at all.
Oh, 1 and 2 for $15. Yeah, man.
That's okay. I don't care about 2, and I have the first one on 360, and I won't play it.
See, I remember 2 not being that great, but then I watched some videos recently. I'm like, this seems like a better game than I remember. So, I picked it up today. So if you pick it up, we can play it together.
Oh, it is online. Okay.
Yeah, there should be online co-op to it.
There better be.
Let me see. I picked up that. Whatever the Hidden Agenda, because I figure we might play it at Extra Life for.
Oh, I grabbed all the free Twitch Prime stuff.
Oh
so
yeah,
far.
I did. I did do that too.
That stuff. So. They're just giving Darksiders away. Please, it's just somebody buy Darksiders, please.
Really?
Xenomorph is $2.
I already own Darksiders though.
Yeah, the first one. Oh, good grief! Yeah, I have it on everything.
Yeah, I own it on PS4 already. So
I have 2 versions on Steam. PS4, and I think it was on 360 Games with Gold. So,
and I think,
and I bought it for Wii U because I was like sure that it was going to become valuable because it's like the last Wii U title or something.
Gotcha. Yeah. What else? Until Dawn is on sale again. If you haven't played that game, I know we're not still streaming, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. If you haven't played Until Dawn, you should 100% play Until Dawn, and like.
It was free on PS Plus like 6 months or a year ago or something.
Yeah,